NSJ Bloke here, and today I'm wearing a pair of black Nylon Spandex jeans. These are also known as American Apparel disco pants in black. The reason I'm wearing these black AA disco pants today is because I want to talk about the pants that Olivia Newton-John was wearing at the end of the movie Grease from 1978. The pants that she was wearing look very similar to these that I'm wearing. So the big question is, are they the same kind of pants? Well, I've done some research and I've come up with some results that I think pretty much answer the question. There are also those who think that she was wearing leather pants. I talk about that too. I made a little video presentation here of the scene from the movie where she's wearing the pants, the final few minutes of the film. It's probably the most memorable scene from that movie. So I made a little video commentary and I'm presenting it right here now to you, and I hope you enjoy it. And once it's over, we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So enjoy. This is the iconic scene from the movie Grease. This is the part everyone remembers most and talks most about. Here is where the usually conservatively dressed, shy, nice girl Sandy transforms into the cigarette-smoking, shiny appareled vixen girl Sandy. Many incorrectly refer to this scene as the Sandy in leather pants scene or the Sandy in disco pants scene. For many years, I myself thought they were spandex disco pants. But with time comes wisdom, and now I know better. And so I want to set the record straight on what exactly these famed pants that Olivia Newton-John was wearing actually were. Obviously, I wasn't there when this film was made, so the next best thing is to find out from someone who was. In this case, there would be no better choice than Olivia Newton-John herself. So we go to a memoir she wrote called Don't Stop Believin', where she reveals all we need to know about what may be the most famous pants that have ever graced the big screen. In her book, Olivia says that costume designer Albert Wolski, quote, found a pair of body-hugging, high-waist, skin-tight, black sharkskin pants that were actually from the 1950s. They were so old, and there was just one pair, so there was no room for error. One rip and disaster, unquote. So let's just think about that for a moment. If disco pants had been in existence at that time, they would have been easy to replace had they gotten damaged. Any rip would not have been disastrous. Anyway, the movie Grease was filmed in 1977 and was not released until the summer of '78, so it's safe to say those sharkskin pants were right around 20 years old, if not more. And in case you don't know, sharkskin was a material that existed both in natural and artificial forms already in the 1950s and was used in wetsuits, hence the shine and close fit. So those were Olivia's own words. She said they were sharkskin and even better than leather. She didn't say the pants were leather. Clearly, if they were leather, she wouldn't have been able to move around that easily in them with that skin-tight fit. Plus, if you know a little bit about how leather fits and looks, you can easily determine those pants were not leather. Her jacket was leather, though, but that's another story. And she didn't say they were disco pants because, as I have already said, that was an item that had not come into being yet. It's not that spandex didn't exist at that time. It had been around for 2 decades already by then. And perhaps her sharkskin pants did have some spandex in them. The auction website that sold these pants in 2019 for more than $162,000 to Sarah Blakely of Spanx fame described the pants as custom-made stretch satin. That may be nothing more than verbal embellishment. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that they were an altered pair of an actual wetsuit, but they were a one-of-a-kind type thing, and surely the inspiration for what would shortly after become the spandex disco pant later that year in 1978, and even more so with American Apparel's skinny fit version 30 years later in 2008. Also, later in 1978, Olivia released an album titled Totally Hot with cover art that showed her wearing an actual pair of black spandex disco pants. And here, she is performing the song Totally Hot on a German TV show in 1978, wearing actual disco pants, or as I prefer to call them, nylon spandex jeans. So that should settle it, right? Olivia Newton-John was not wearing disco pants or leather pants at the end of Grease, agreed? Well, in case it doesn't, I have some more details we can examine to further prove this. First, if you look at the fit of the pants on her, you'll notice they have a very modern, skinny, or leggings-like fit. For some who might not know, they may appear to be the modern-day American Apparel disco pants. But like I said earlier, AA's pants didn't come on the scene until 30 years later. And when actual spandex disco pants finally debuted, soon after the Grease movie, they appeared in a straight leg fit, skin tight above the knees, loose below the knees. In other words, there were no skinny or leggings fit disco pants unless you had alterations made to them. Next, let's look at the hems. As you can see, the pants had slits cut into them on the inside legs. Not only that, but according to the auction site, the pants had a row of snap closures to the ankles. This gave the pants its skin-tight fit on the lower legs and allowed the pants to be put on and taken off much easier. Disco pants never had slits or snap closures. Also, her pants came with a belt. The pants have a gold tone clasp to fasten the attached belt, according to the auction site. The most disco pants ever came close to having an attached belt was having belt loops, and not even most had this feature. And what about the zipper? Do you see a zipper on the front? Neither do I. In fact, the zipper appears to be on the back, just like on a wetsuit. Additionally, these pants clearly have no back pockets. Most disco pants from that era had 2 pockets. Not only was that a convenient feature, but it's also where a lot of the visible branding was featured. Without that, how would others know whether you were wearing Legambi or Bojangles or Jondon or Michi or some other brand? Finally, here in some of these stills, you can see some sort of seam lines on the back legs of the pants. They don't appear to go all the way up, but they are there. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it further secures my belief that these pants were originally part of some kind of wetsuit or scuba outfit. Take a look at this modern-day, aptly named scuba skinny pant. See the seams on the back? Hopefully all this helps show that sandy, shiny black pants were not disco pants. I'm sure some will still refer to them as leather or disco pants, but if you've watched this video, you know better now, and you can teach others. Of course, there are some questions I'd still like to ask Olivia or even Sarah Blakely about them. I know Olivia tried them on one last time before giving them up. Wonder if Sarah has. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to clear up. Let's go back to Olivia's writings. Quote, "When I tried on those pants for the first time, the zipper was broken, and Albert didn't want to rip them trying to put in a new one or remove the old one. Instead, I'd be sewn into them each morning." Unquote. Here is another misconception that I've heard many times over the years. I have heard it implied that the pants fit her so tight because she was sewn into them. Or conversely, that she had to be sewn into them because they were so tight. The truth is, as she stated, she had to be sewn into the pants due to the zipper being broken. There was no other reason. The pants were sufficiently skin tight already. In closing, I'd like to say that even though Sandy's iconic pants were not what we know to be actual disco pants, they still looked amazing and fabulous on her. She didn't need the leather jacket, or the cigarette, or the high heels, or the wildly let down curly hair, or the extra makeup. The pants alone should have been enough for Danny. I know it would have been for me. Thanks for watching. All right, so what did you think about that? Are you convinced that her pants were not disco pants or leather pants? I mean, Olivia Newton-John herself said what they are. They were pretty much a one-of-a-kind item, and most likely you couldn't find anything like that in stores to buy. It was probably a custom tailored type of thing. Even though they weren't disco pants, they were the inspiration for what became disco pants shortly thereafter. And actually, she turned out to be a huge fan of nylon spandex jeans, because you saw on that album cover that she was wearing some, and you saw in that video presentation of her performing one of her songs on a German television show, she was wearing a pair up there also. But that wasn't all. She wore nylon spandex jeans a lot during that time. So she was a huge fan of them, obviously. And remember how in the video, she said that she had to be sewn into the pants because the zipper was broken? I'm pretty sure she was really glad that she didn't have to be sewn into nylon spandex jeans. Can you imagine how much more comfortable nylon spandex jeans are as opposed to those sharkskin pants or even leather pants if they had been leather? It's a world of difference. These pants are super comfortable, and mainly they look great. And I'm sure Olivia Newton-John would tell you that herself. So what did you think about the fact that her pants actually sold for $162,000 at an auction? It was actually a little bit more than 162, but the founder of Spanx, she's the one who now owns the pants. And not only the pants, but the leather jacket too. She actually paid more for the jacket than she paid for the pants. But she owns them now, and considering that she's the founder of Spanx, you know, and she created all that clothing that's supposed to make you look slim, I think it's just so appropriate that she is now the owner of those pants. It really is a cool item, and I'm sure she's really happy to have them. So those pants had to have come from, you know, part of a scuba diving apparel set, or, you know, some kind of a wetsuit. Somebody just took it and modified it and turned it into something that was really unique, because that was from the 1950s. I've watched movies and TV shows from that era, and I don't remember anybody dressing like that during that time. So clearly that was a custom-made, unique, you know, type of thing there, and it really became iconic. You know, it's something that just turned heads. Everybody loved those pants. You know, guys loved them, girls loved them. Olivia even said herself in her book that she wished she had made those to sell, because she could have become rich with that product. And, you know, she sure could have, you know, but somebody else had the idea, and, you know, it was just a couple months later when actual nylon spandex jeans came out. And so you had a pair of pants that looked just like the ones that Sandy wore, but these were a lot more comfortable because they were made with 10% spandex in them. And they looked just as good, and both guys and girls wore them. After that film, these pants started popping up everywhere on TV, in the movies, at concerts, on record album covers. You know, it was everywhere. That's how popular they became. And they were like super popular for about 5 years or so. I don't think it was coincidence that American Apparel came out with their version in 2008, which was exactly 30 years after the Grease movie came out. I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that was purposely created that way, kind of like a tribute or anniversary of the creation of the nylon spandex jean. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to do research on, and just so much you can find out when you seek to learn more about something. So I'm glad I was able to find that out. I hope everyone now knows a little bit more about those pants that she was wearing, and now you can pass that information and knowledge on to others who may not know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I have more videos. I'd like to put together more stuff like that. So just give it some thumbs up. Let me know you're watching it and enjoying it. Well, anyway, that's it for now. So until next time, keep on rocking the nylon spandex jeans.